Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about what comes after the committee. Because while the hearings are over, the show is theoretically wound up, and it has made its referrals. It's really not over. There's more to come. The summary's been released. I've read, skimmed, and there's not a lot in it that's new for those people who actually watched the hearings. It's about 150 pages. There's a lot of language in it that is very direct, very straightforward. You know, Trump did this, and there's already been questions about that. Don't infer too much. They're not journalists. They are, they're in Congress. They are protected by the whole speech and debate thing. He allegedly did those things. But their evidence is pretty strong. So that's where the real fun begins. The next phase of this will be all of the transcripts being released. At which point, those in the Republican Party trying to downplay it and those loyal to Trump trying to justify it will go through and try to find any discrepancy they can and zero in on any inconsistency, any discrepancy, any misstatement that they can find. And they will try to create a giant story and scandal out of that to divert attention from the content of the testimony. A good example of this from the hearing would be the whole debate over what really happened in the limo. Keep in mind, the key pieces of information that he wanted to go, none of that was disputed. What actually mattered wasn't really there for debate. It was this one thing that they could kind of zero in on and try to use that to cast doubt on everything. Expect that. It's coming. And that portion of the show will probably last weeks once it starts, because they'll find some inconsistency between two people's statements and try to frame it as if they're lying rather than just seeing it from two different perspectives. And then once it starts, they'll just keep pulling out little baby things to try to convince the American people that there's something wrong with the testimony. The key thing you have to remember is, if they were lying under oath, that just means that a whole bunch of people that were handpicked by Trump had no problem lying under oath. There's really not a winning strategy here, but make no mistake about it, they are still under the illusion that social media shares and likes somehow are a valid electoral strategy, despite 3 consecutive pretty devastating losses at the polls. So that's what's coming up next. From there, we'll have to see what DOJ does. Everything really is in their court now. They really get to decide how this proceeds from here. Regardless of what DOJ does, this committee was historic. Not just for referring the charges. That's what people are pointing to as it being historic. Make no mistake, the January 6th event and the hearings afterward, they will be in history books. Your kids will learn about it in school. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.